Hey kids, welcome to Lesson 17, Building an App, Canvas Painter, Making Spray Paint. The next effect we would like to create is a spray paint effect. Instead of drawing a single dot for every location stored event list, we'll draw many small dots randomly placed around the location of each. We're going to start off by just practicing drawing a circle whose X and Y locations use offset X and offset Y with a small random value added. This makes the line of code to draw the circle kind of long, but hopefully it's easy to understand if you read it carefully. Looks like what we're doing is we're going to take the original number from the user and we're going to add plus or minus 3 to that number. That's going to happen in both the X and the Y position. Looks like the radius is set to 1 for this circle. Do this, set the style of another button in design mode, give it a label like spray paint, give it a descriptive ID, and attach an event handler to it. Copy the code from the original button into the event handler for spray paint. Change the code for circle so that it will draw a dot whose X and Y location use offset X and offset Y with a small random value added. And that's our code from above. Run your app to make sure it's drawing small dots close to the original position. Look at the example below. Looks like it draws a ton of little circles wherever they drew this weird little shape here. This doesn't sound too bad. Mostly we're copying the code from the original button and we're adding this to where the circle is instead. That's not too bad. First thing we have to do is to make a button though. Let's go into design mode. I'm going to click this one. This one is going to be called SP button for spray paint button. We'll call this spray paint. What color do we want? They had a green color. Let's keep along with that, just make it slightly different. I want mine a little darker. I like that color there. And there's our button. That is part 1 done. Let's switch over to code. Let's find our original button. Our original button is right here. Before we copy and paste, we should make a new event. Drag in an event here. What's it going to be called? SP button. When SP button is clicked, what's going to happen? Well, let's copy this code here. We are going to clear the canvas. We are going to run this loop for the entire list of the array. But this circle, we don't want all of this here. We want this new line of code here. That means I am going to delete this and I'm just going to start over. That'll be easier for me because it's a lot of code here. We have our circle. First thing we need to do is take care of our X position. So that is going to be event list bracket I. Put a parentheses there. And we are going to go plus random number. And we want that random number between -3 and 3. And a comma there. This is event list and we need that index in the offset. So don't forget your dot offset X there. Plus random number, comma. We did the X, now we have to do the Y. That is going to look exactly the same. I can copy and paste this right here. And just switch over the Y position. Still not done. We need to have a comma and we need a radius and the radius is 1. What we're doing now is we're taking the X and Y positions and we are adding 3 or subtracting 3 from that position, and the radius of the circle is going to be 1. This sounds pretty interesting. I'm ready to try it out. How about you kids? Let's hit run. Let's test this by just drawing a box. There's my box. Let's hit spray paint and a ton of little tiny circles. Let's hit random here. Let's hit spray paint and a ton of little tiny circles where I drew at. Gives a little spray paint feel to it. I should be able to go back to my original, and I can still start over. Spray paint, bunch of little dots, random, spray paint, and start over. I think our code is working as it should. Looking back up here to our do this, we set the style of another button in design mode. We called it spray paint, just like them. We copied the code from the original button, dragged it into a new event for our spray paint button, and we changed the circle line of code so that it pulls from the X and Y position, then adds or subtracts 3 from that randomly, and makes the radius 1. So it just goes around where the position is and makes a small dot. Pretty neat. I think that's all code.org wanted from us. Let's see if they want anything else. Nope. Good job, kids. I will see you on the next lesson.